Tonight we're talking about food. Food is America's favorite subject. No matter if you're with a friend or a stranger, anybody can talk about what they like to eat. The last time I went to a grocery store, I was overwhelmed by the number of people handing out free samples. Can anyone tell me what they hand out free samples of the most?
Pizza.
Pizza, that's a good one.
Meat.
Pizza is one of America's favorite dishes. It's not only found in the freezer aisle and loaded with our favorite toppings, but it's also loaded with some of the ingredients that are the worst ingredients for us to consume. Our society lives on processed foods. Processed foods are easy to obtain because they're cheap for large companies to manufacture and release. The FDA regulates the food and drug industry. They also are the #1 supporter and leader in making sure that American consumers buy these products. Before us tonight, I have some products here that are organic, and I have some that are processed, and I also have some fruits and vegetables that are just straight from the grocery aisle. So can anyone here shout out one that looks like it may be organic?
Orange.
The oranges. Why do you think they look organic? Or why do you think they would be organic?
I don't know, it just looks like it would be.
So if you had a package and it said it was organic, would you believe them?
Yes.
Because we tend to believe things that are labeled because the FDA is supposed to support us and protect us with any food that we buy in the store. Most of the times, the grocery stores don't even know where they're getting their produce. I want you to leave tonight knowing that the only way you're getting something organic is by going to your local food market. By going to the local food market, you not only support your local community, but you're ensuring yourself and your family that you are getting foods free of chemicals. When we're baking for our children, we tend to use white flour. Did you know that white flour is bleached? They actually use bleach to make the whole wheat flour white. That's a scary thought. We're actually consuming a chemical in some of our favorite treats like cookies and brownies. When you go to buy your toddler applesauce at the store, did you ever read the label? It's a little bit startling. The #1 ingredient is apples, of course, but the next ingredient is corn syrup, followed by high fructose corn syrup, water, and ascorbic acid. Not to mention vitamin C as being last. Well, if you go to your local food market and you buy yourself some organic apples, you can make your own applesauce, and rest assured that your toddler is safe. Something else we don't think about when we're looking for healthy, quick ideas is fruit cocktail. It's loaded with some of our favorite fruits, but again, it contains the high fructose syrup, which is horrible for our diet. Now, what do you think syrup and marinade sauce would have in common? Anyone have a guess?
Sugar.
Yes, you guessed it. You wouldn't think that sugar would be the main ingredient in a marinade, but it is, followed by lemon juice and a very small amount of herbs to give it flavor. When you're barbecuing or grilling a steak, what do you like to have with it?
Potatoes.
Potatoes is right. But how many of you want a quick, easy potato instead of making a nice one that's organic and fresh from the garden? Baked potatoes take a little bit longer to make, whereas boxed potatoes would be a lot more user-friendly. Kids like boxed potatoes, but they can't tell the difference if you use a little bit of seasoning and add garlic and butter to make it flavorful. When you're cooking, you can also use olive oil instead of butters. Butters tend to be higher in cholesterol and less flavorful because most of the taste gets cooked away in the pan. When you're making your favorite casserole, have you ever noticed what's inside some of our cream soups? The first ingredient is chicken broth, the second wheat flour, the third cooked chicken meat, the fourth soybean oil. It also goes on to say contains 2% or less of butter, milk, modified cornstarch, salt, cornstarch, dried whey cream, monosodium glutamate, mechanically separated chicken. Just think of that, mechanically separated chicken. What does that even mean? Mechanically separated. Our chickens are composed of biochemicals. They are clustered together in huge chicken farms, and they are forced to never see daylight. The average chicken grows in 65 days to its full size, where back in the day when farmers raised their own chickens, they would grow to a mature weight in 75 days. That is quite the difference. These chickens that are cooped up in these large barns never see daylight, and if they were to go outside for their first time ever, they would fall straight forward because they're so heavy, because they're chemically engineered to have large breasts that they just fall right on their face. Free-range animals are the most suited for our diet. They consume grass, they don't eat corn, and they live a healthy life. We want to consume products that come from fresh sources and are good for us. I hope when you leave tonight, you will decide to choose your local farmer's market and pick up fresh produce to include your meat, your fruits and vegetables, and your milk. Thank you.
Thank you.
Spent too much time in a